Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the Ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
The graveside service had just ended when there was a frightening clap of thunder, followed by a tremendous bolt of lightning, accompanied by even louder thunder. The little old man looked at the pastor and said calmly, "Well, she's there." Morning, everybody. Here comes Kate Smith and God Bless America, followed by a Patriot. Come on, Patriots. Call in with our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning, good morning. And a good morning to you and yours, Zeb at the Ranch, and of course brought to you by our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you with the best in tires. Stop in and see them today, along with some of our great advertisers like Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue in Burley, for heaven's sakes. Where am I going? Let me try that all over again. 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. And don't forget, helping you get back to being you. I was lost there in a vague little space. Good morning, everybody. Let's go right now go to the phone line and have our Pledge of Allegiance. Have a great day. Good morning.
Good morning.
I got all twisted up. Go ahead and please give me the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I appreciate you coming in and lining things out, and I know I've got something that's going to make you call back in just a few minutes, so God bless you and thanks much.
If I see you running circles outside, I'll try to catch you.
Well, first of all, I can't run circles, and secondarily, it's pretty easy to catch me.
All right.
All right, buddy, thank you. Oh, my goodness sakes. Let's go to the weather forecast real quick on a Thursday, and it's brought to you by K&R Rental at 256 South, 600 west of Hayburn. Roger, good morning over there at K&R Rental and the whole staff. They get there early in the morning, especially in the spring and summer months, to make sure that you can get in there and get the best of tools and equipment for whatever project you need to finish. Not sure what you need? No problemo. You give them a call at 678-3122, 678-3122, and they can and will help you. K&R Rental. Right now, here's the old Scott man with the weather.
Small chance of showers this afternoon and tonight, then sunshine. Good morning with your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron. For this morning, mostly sunny. Some isolated showers possible for this afternoon. Highs around 82. That chance of showers continuing on into tonight with a low of 53. Then for tomorrow, mostly sunny. Highs around 82. For Friday night, mostly clear. A low of 51. Saturday, sunshine and 83. Mostly clear for Saturday night and a low of 51. Then for Sunday, mostly sunny and a high of 84. That's your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron. Have a great day.
Woo, Scott man, good job. Appreciate it. Filling in for Gina this week. And, of course, brought to you by K&R Rental at 256 South, 600 west of Hayburn. Right there, you couldn't possibly miss them on the Burley-Paul Highway. You get over there and get the tools and equipment you need for your gardening, your lawn care, whatever, at K&R Rental, 678-3122. 780-458-6122. Hey, Merv May, come on in here. Let's sell some cows.
All right, hey, good set of steer calves there. Here to get $31, 1.5, 31, 1.5, 32, 2.5, 3.
Oh, that's the chant of the world's best doggone auctioneer, Merv May, over at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. Merv May, Cade Rogge, and Lance Udy at the sale that works for you. Today, sale day at 10:30. Don't forget, at Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. Number to call, 678-9411. Here's a partial list of some of the cattle going through the ring today. Move View Dairies bringing in 45 head of ripping good Holstein steers, weighing 700 to 800 pounds. Butcher cows coming in from Acme Dairy, Antelope Hills Dairy, Funk Dairy, and the P-Bar S Dairy, along with a really good, always good trailer line run. Sales starting at about 10:30. Don't forget the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley, 678-9411. Sale day today. Merv, sell those steers.
All right, hey, good set of steer calves there. Here to get $31, 1.5, 31, 1.5, 32, 2.5, 3.5, 134, 4.5, 5.5, 130, 550, 135, and I sell them $35. Zeb Bell gets bottom.
I tell you what, Merv, thank you very much. I always enjoy calling Merv on Wednesday afternoons to get the run on those cattle. Appreciate it. We have another really good program today, and at 10:30 we're going to be talking to a gentleman that absolutely is furious over the stupid left green deal and what it would do to kill the steel industry here in the United States. And we're going to be talking to Mark Jensen at that time. You don't want to miss that. Calls are welcome and appreciated. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Well, I have a minute. I want to remind you, too, about our dear friends, Ramsey Heating and Electric. Rita will be on the program with us at 9:30 this morning, as a matter of fact. They're located at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. And the number to call, if you want to call ahead, 678-0459. They open up early in the morning at 7:30 to 5, Monday through Friday, for all your heating, cooling, and electrical needs. Do not forget the best that have been in business over 6 decades, Ramsey Heating and Electric. Caller, I'll be right there. I also want to acknowledge that the great food menu choices over at Denny's Restaurant. Now, I had a call yesterday afternoon, and I've been bragging about those strawberry vanilla crepes and the breakfast you can get over there, you know, along with the bacon or the sausage and the hash browns with it and everything. And a gentleman said, I went in and had those strawberry vanilla crepes, and it was phenomenal. They loved it. Absolutely. At Denny's Restaurant, America's Diner. They're located at 611 North Overland in Burley and 291 Pole Line Road in Twin Falls. You stop in today. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, anytime, all the time, at Denny's Restaurant, the home of Zeb's Lunch Bunch. Caller, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, and how is everything in Zebraland?
Well, I want to stop and say that everything in Zebraland is really good because of people like you and your wonderful wife that have been so kind to us over the years. I mean, you and Nancy and everybody that goes to Lunch Bunch and everybody else that calls in. I have the greatest friends and friendships. And I got to tell your lovely wife, Mrs. Sugar Cookie, that everything is well in Zebraland. Thank you.
Turn your radio on.
I'm talking to you, Keith. You're on the air telling her to turn the radio on.
Yeah, she decided to take a nap.
I see.
And, you know, that's how important this program is.
Oh, you bet. No, I thank you very much for your friendship. What's cooking in your world this morning?
Well, do you remember when you started the first grade?
Yeah, I do. I do, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. And from that day on, every month or every 6 weeks, you got a report card, which you brought home to your parents, and they said, Zeb, it looks pretty good here, but you didn't do very well there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would talk to the teacher and blah, blah, blah. Okay, why can't we do this with people like Mike Simpson, who doesn't appear to be doing anything, shouldn't he have to report to the people he represents?
You know, that's a really good point. And, of course, I have prejudicial feelings against Mike Simpson. But regarding any politician that represents any area of the United States, whether they're congressmen or senators, there needs to be much more of a rapport with their constituents to let them know what's going on. In fairness to, like Simpson, even though I hate to give it to him, or Creuzot or Risch, they do on occasion, and I think Creuzot probably is the best at this, of publishing a little note back to his constituency, hopefully that'll be aired if they send the emails to me, or it goes to the local newspaper, if you want to call it a newspaper. And but they need to call. They need to have questions directed at them. They need to tell the audience, we're going to be here to answer your questions on a bi-weekly or a weekly basis, whatever. They are not doing the job.
Have you ever heard of Mike Simpson proposing a bill other than like the White Clouds area where, they shut us out? In other words, anything good? Have you heard anything good that he's done for us?
Well, in fairness to Mike, you know that too, Keith, that Mike Simpson has done some good not only for the nation and or for Idaho. I'm not going to discredit the man in what he's done because I want to be fair on my assessment. But Mike absolutely, in some cases, especially with the Muslim problem that we have in this country, with the Muslim Brotherhood and others, I think he's dropped the football and he can't even find his uniform.
That's right. And he does need to be replaced. But let's say we find a good candidate to run against him, and let's put a little bit in there about how we can keep track of him.
Yeah.
He should be obligated to furnish a report once a month. Now, he can't send that to every household, but it should be available, especially on computers these days, of what he's doing. And then he's answering to the people. Right now, he's not answering anything.
I agree with you. I've got to run and I got to do some more commercials, Keith. But your point of your discussion is well taken, and I say thank you for that. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You bet. Excellent. Yeah, there needs to be more of an open discussion. And I check my calls every day. I check who called and who left messages every day. And quite frankly, we haven't heard from Mike Simpson's office for over 3.5 years. No excuse for that. Don't forget our friends over at Rain for Rent. Hello, Jake and the rest of the crew, a Reinke Diamond dealer, and they are helping to keep all the irrigation running on your place. So remember to call them if you have any needs or problems, 438-5065. I'll repeat that number, 438-5065, and they're located at 134 South, 600 West of Paul. Jake and the whole crew, and when I say the whole crew, they are dedicated sales and service staff to help you with your irrigation. Don't put it off. You need help, they can do it. Rain for Rent, 438-5065. Calls are welcome and appreciated. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I'm going to be getting into a story here in a minute that when I heard this yesterday, honestly, I thought, my audience, if they haven't heard about this, they are absolutely going to be shocked as to what's going on, and we're going to talk about it in just a second. Caller, stand by. Don't forget Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. I'm going to be there tomorrow morning. Old Nick's going to be working on me again. And they're located at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. The number to call to make an appointment to help them get you over your aching and paining is 678-1191. Nick Greenwell and all the physical therapists, very, very highly trained physical therapists, are ready to serve you with also the use of that hydrotherapy pool. Going to help? It will. Hospital. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. The number to call, 678-1191. Caller, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. From the Burley Senior Center on South Overland, the menu today is meatloaf and all the trimmings and yummy dessert. And you can get one to go if you'll call in before 12. And we serve from 12 to 1. That's all I have for you today, Jim.
Well, I'll tell you what, Joe, there's a rumor going around that you're trying to apply for an opening at K-Bar to start your own talk show, and by golly, I'd sign the ticket to help you. You're doing a good job.
I'm going to leave that to you. You're the guy that does the greatest.
God bless you, and good luck, and have a great, great day at the Senior Center over there. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Joe Taylor, wonderful, wonderful man right there, talking about the lunch menu at the Senior Center. We appreciate him. I have one other note I want to put in here before we get into that story. A very good friend of mine was in a tragic accident, and it just absolutely saddens me to tell you that his wife was killed in that accident. They lost also their family dog, and it was right on Blue Lakes in Twin Falls. Right on Blue Lakes in Twin Falls. And Dwayne Steiner, the owner of Downtown Leatherworks at 340 Main Avenue East, is in really, really desperate and dangerous and critical condition up at I think he is up now at St. Alphonsus, but I'm going to be checking on that. I believe St. Alphonsus. And I talked to his brother who lives out of state, and they've started a GoFundMe page. And I urge people, if you would please, to contribute, because literally Dwayne lost almost everything. And people can contribute to the GoFundMe.com/Dwayne and Mary Ann Steiner. Let me repeat that, please. GoFundMe.com/Dwayne and Mary Ann Steiner. They say it's going to be a long, long road to recovery for Dwayne. And then finally, when he comes out of his coma, hopefully and prayerfully he will, he's got to face the acknowledgement of basically the loss of his family. And I urge you to help support him. People, again, can contribute to GoFundMe.com/Dwayne and Mary Ann Steiner. And I urge you to do so. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Don't forget Ark Animal Hospital, and of course they're located at 750 21st Street near Connection Credit Union in Heyburn. Yep. Mixed animal practice. I don't care if you've got horses. I don't care if you've got cows. I don't care if you've got little puppy dogs and kitty cats. They want them all to be healthy. They can take care of all the diseases and all the vaccinations and all the cuts and everything else. You be sure and call Dr. Bill and the crew today. They are working for you and your pet's health. Ark Animal Hospital, 750 21st Street in Heyburn. Number to call, 678-1177. They do have the warm hearts for the cold noses. I am going to be very blunt when I say this, and if somebody's offended by this out in Radio Land, that's tough. I honestly believe, after listening to this story and reading about this story and doing some follow-up on this story, that the Democrats, and I've renamed them just to be the Socialist Party, are absolutely creating or wanting to create a lawless society. Allowing illegal aliens to come here breaks the law. Too many commit more crimes when they are here, breaking the law. Ignoring the courts for return hearings on the possibility of amnesty and just staying here and saying and thumbing their nose in America, breaking the law. And now this story just sent me into a tizzy. The removal of Dallas County District Attorney John Creuzot is being sought because he plans, as the Dallas, Texas County District Attorney, not to prosecute certain low-level crimes. Now listen to this. This Democrat, Creuzot, said that he would no longer prosecute most first-time marijuana offenses and, underline this, theft and thievery of personal items worth less than $750. So you're a store owner, and these people come in, and they just take whatever they want off the shelves, under $750, and walk out. You can't touch them. They won't be prosecuted. It's free range, baby. This is lunacy at its largest degree. He said in a statement that his new policy to not prosecute thefts of personal items under $750 was based on research that shows that people who steal necessities like food or diapers, quote, do so out of hunger and poverty. So we're just going to have a lawless society. If you want, you take. If you want, you steal. And what about the store owner, the private store owner? I mean, man, his profits are gone. Who cares about him? Oh, come on, open the doors and let all these people just come in and get what they want. Now, if I were living in Texas right now, I would be leading the charge to go over with a van and not only ask, but absolutely extricate this man from office. It is absolutely criminal what he is doing and proposing. And what are your thoughts? I mean, look at what we've got going on in this country, folks. You can do almost anything and get away with it. And the Democrats saying, and especially this Democrat, that you can go in and steal. And it's not only in Texas. There's a couple of other places in the United States where also they're coming up with this lunatic idea about, oh, well, these are people of poorer means. Let them come in and fill up their shopping carts and steal from that business. This is crazy. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, sir. What's that going to do to the prices of the product that they can sell to make up for what they're losing, what they're giving away? They just as well set shopping carts out front with $700 worth of stuff in it and say, free, take one.
Yeah. I mean, whether it's Colgate toothpaste or whether it's deodorant or whether it's baby diapers or really whatever they want, they can walk into a store now. These people that say, oh, I'm poverty-stricken, so I'm just going to go in and take what I need. I have never heard of anything so absolutely diabolical in my whole life.
Well, it's to create a lawless society so they can impose martial law to take care of everybody.
I don't know. Doug, I'm telling you that when you look at this guy, this attorney John Creuzot of Texas, and you see the picture of him standing there and saying and explaining why he wants to let this happen because it's going to alleviate a lot of hunger for poverty people, you know that the people of any financial means are going to go in and start stealing. And where's the stop point?
Exactly. And I'm going to use Keith Cottom as an example. Say he's selling a car, and it's $700 he's got marked on it. This guy comes in for a test drive, takes that car, and doesn't come back. Keith can't prosecute him.
Yeah, I mean, where do you stop the theft? Thou shalt not steal. And these Democrats are going against the commandments as if the Democrats understood the 10 commandments anyway. And I'm fed up with it. You know something? Here's something to be said, and I want you to comment on. When it comes to this point of stealing, thievery, and taking what you want without paying for it, the store owner in my mind has every right to stop in any way or means necessary what's happening.
I'm with you 100% on that. Because if you can't protect your own property, then we just will be like Venezuela.
Where do you draw the line, Doug? I mean, where do you draw the line? Do you just draw the line and say, well, on food and groceries, they can take whatever they want? Oh, well, what about going into a store, regardless of whether it's a big name brand store or a small mom and pop operation? Well, my kids need shoes, so we're just going to take them. Thank you. Get out of the way. We're leaving now. I mean, where do you draw the line?
We draw it right here, right now. If we do not stand up and draw the line right now, we'll be like Obama and his red line. You just let him step over it, and we back up and draw another one. Let him step over it, back up, draw another one. We need to draw it right now.
Did you hear about this story prior to me talking about it this morning?
No, I didn't.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm saving each and every little piece of information I have on this Dallas district attorney, and I am going to follow up on this and find out after the program who are some of the other idiots, and that's what they are, that are advocating this, because like you said, this has got to stop now. And why? Why are the Democrats promoting such a lawless society?
They're doing it so they could do martial law and take over, Zeb. I mean, I may be wrong. I hope the hell I'm wrong. But that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm thinking.
I just sit here and I'm just in shock over this kind of thing. And Wheels, we got a little feedback here, buddy, please. I just can't imagine why and how you can have any kind of a society where people can say, well, look, I'm without a job right now, and I'm staying at home and eating bonbons and watching Oprah on television, but I think I'll go to the store and I think I'll walk down and steal about $700 worth of goods. What in the world is going on here?
I know it. It's sad. It really is, Zeb. And I got two quick things I'd like to have you to comment on, and then we'll let that next caller come in. One is summer camp for social justice warriors.
Okay.
Have you heard of that one?
I have, and I don't know if I want to take the time away from this subject to discuss it right now, but go ahead. The other?
And the other, oh, shoot. My mind went blank. Oh, shoot. Well, anyway.
If you think of it, call me back.
Let's help the seniors, everybody.
Absolutely.
Because I am one, because I just had one of those moments.
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it. Thank you much. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I've got a whole slug of small business owners on my log sheet that run reputable businesses. And now it's going to be okay for people maybe here in Idaho or Utah or Arizona or whatever. What happens if this movement spreads? And people say, well, no, the district attorney says we're not going to prosecute for theft of anything under $750. What? Caller, I'll be right there. Don't go away, please. I want to remind everybody, the end of this month of June, lots and lots of fun. We talked to Lewis yesterday about the great big 2019 Idaho Regatta. It is going to be ripping good down around the Burley Golf Course and Marina. Wow, June 27, 28, 29, and 30. And they're going to have all kinds of different classes of speedboats. It's going to be phenomenal. If you want more information, go to idahoregatta.org. And don't forget, too, special rates for veterans and seniors 62 and over. At the gate only, you must show a valid ID to receive a discount. Only $10 entrance fee. Whoa! All of this going on at the Idaho Regatta for this year. For more information, again, idahoregatta.org. Thank you very much. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Now, let me get this straight. This is the Dallas City District Attorney
doesn't want to prosecute any crimes where there's a value of less than $750.
Yep. Now, wait a minute. I want to wait. Whoa, sir. Hang on. I want to correct you on one thing you said. Not Dallas City. I said Dallas County District Attorney.
Dallas County. Okay. So anywhere in the county, less than $750, he doesn't want to prosecute. Correct?
Yep.
All right. I hope somebody goes up, walking past his property, steals some ornaments, something off his lawn as they're walking by. See if he still feels the same way.
Have you ever heard of anything, honestly, have you ever heard of anything this dumb? I mean, I never thought that I'd be on the radio and hear about a district attorney or anyone involved in law enforcement saying that they will excuse theft and thievery up to a certain monetary point. This is insane.
I agree. I realize there are some petty crimes under $50 that you try to give them just a slap on the wrist. But $750 is quite a bit of value.
Yep.
Look over and just say, "Oh, go ahead and take it." That's crazy.
Well, where's the slap on the wrist, though?
Something from him, so he feels differently about it.
Sir, where's the slap on the wrist when you have someone that says, "Oh, well, I'm poor. I'm just going to go into the store and let's see, this month little Susie needs more diapers. Oh, let's get some ice cream bars. Let's stop over here to the meat section. And do it every single month without any prosecutorial means of getting a slap on the wrist."
Well, the sad part about the situation is somewhere along the way there's going to be a store owner that's going to pull out a gun and kill them. Going to kill somebody there, overtaking that limit, the under $750 limit. And then what's going to happen is that guy's going to get prosecuted.
Yep, that's right. Where do you, as a small business person, have any rights at all when your door is open to the public from 7 to 4 or 8 to 6 or whatever the hours might be, knowing that during the course of your business day, somebody's going to come in and steal from you and you can't do a thing?
Sad situation. I'm going to go ahead and go, Zeb. Let you get the next call.
All right, sir. God bless you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I honestly, folks, I try to get on this program every morning and talk about some of the insanity that's going on in the world and how we can correct it. This is honestly blowing my mind that we would virtually tell store owners, well, that's okay. They're going to come in and they're going to steal from you, and the district attorney is not going to do anything on prosecution. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. Let's take for example, if we had that law in Idaho or any of our counties, that Zeb Bell is out mowing his lawn and all of a sudden he has a vertigo moment or something like that, and his wife has to take him to the hospital, and he leaves the lawnmower out there on his lawn. Well, people driving by, they don't see any cars around. They see that lawnmower sitting out there, and so they steal it. Now, you report it as $1,500, to replace it. And the prosecutor said, no, it's only worth $700. What do we do then?
Well, the whole thing boils down to, have we lost a lawful society where we respect the law and we respect the merits of the law? In other words, it's not right for me to steal from you. It wouldn't have been right for me when you had your car business to say, oh, gee, my windshield wipers aren't running very well. I think I'll stop at Keith's car lot and I'll steal the windshield wipers off a comparable vehicle and put them on mine. I mean, this is what we're doing, is creating more theft. We're creating more availability of thought for illegals and people with illegal wants to go and take from anybody they want to and get away with it.
Well, these are some of the things that's happened to me over the years. Somebody would come in and try out a car, and when it come back, I was busy or something, and I never looked to see whether everything was there or not. But you open the trunk to show up to the next customer, and there's no spare tire.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. Well,
and that happened, several times over the years.
Yeah.
But since they come out with that funny spare tire, we don't have much trouble.
All right. Well, Keith, I appreciate your input. I got to get some commercials in, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You bet.
I know this is an isolated couple of instances, Texas being one, Dallas County, that's being brought out, but it's not the only place where this has been discussed as, oh, well, let's let them go. If it's underneath $750, let's not prosecute. Good Lord. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Don't forget Barry Equipment and Rental. We're going to be talking to those good folks a little bit later on this morning. Corey Chandler's going to be on the air talking about all the equipment over at Barry Equipment and Rental, Burley, Twin Falls, and Nampa for all the lifting and the digging and the pushing and the carrying. They've got all the Doosan loaders and excavators and all the Bobcats and the mini excavators and skid steers. Oh, the list goes on and on. You get a hold of them today. Barry Equipment and Rental, 159 West Highway 30 in Burley, 465 Addison Avenue West in Twin, and the Napa location, Barry Equipment and Rental. Caller, I'll be right there. Stand by. Dino's Septic Service. Drum-ta-tum. A little drum roll there. And we say to the best. They are the best at what they do. Dino's Septic Service. And, of course, I'm going to give you the numbers right up front to give them a call because maybe you need your septic tank pump or maybe you need sewer and sink drain lines clean. And the numbers to call, 436-6526 or 678-1638. They are really good at what they do, and they've expanded their business to serve more of you great folks. With the best of septic tank and drain fields installed, backhoe services, everything. Call Dino's Septic Service today. And don't forget, they'll pull in your yard with the big truck that says, smells cargo on the way. Dino's Septic Service. Caller, good morning, and thank you.
I just have a quick comment. So one person comes in and steals less than $750 from a business, even if it's a big box store. What if there's 10, 15, or 20 people all come in on the same day? Who can take a hit like that, no matter who they are?
No, your point, Adrian, is so well taken because you open the lid on this Pandora's box of allowing crime and criminality to expand itself. How high is up?
Exactly, and what it could do in one day, it could put a business out of business, even if they're a large, very large box store or chain store. If you get enough people in one day, that's it.
And you know human nature that if somebody says, hey, John, how'd you get all those items? Well, I just walked in and stole them because nobody's going to prosecute me. And you're going to be looking at Moccasin Telegraph beating their feet down to that store to take advantage of it.
Absolutely. The doors will be crowded. There'll be a line standing outside waiting to get in.
God bless you and have a good day. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
You know, folks, this has got to be nipped in the bud. And people like this Dallas County District Attorney John Creuzot, they need to be forcibly removed from office. Now, that might sound a little harsh, but we've got to get some law back in our society. And not to prosecute certain what they call low-level crimes. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb. I think harboring criminals and protecting them is okay with the Democratic Party, but the minute you say something about helping Donald Trump up, why these people go into a convulsion.
Well, that's really true, but right now, and my facts are with me, that the Democrats, socialists, are absolutely hell-bent on creating more of a lawless society, and whether it's with the illegal aliens or whether it's providing illegals with health care or driver's license, the list goes on of illegalities. And now for this nincompoop, this idiot, and I can't, there's other names I want to call him, but I can't. I'm regulated by rules and regulations with the FCC, to say that they're not going to prosecute certain low-level crimes. That's just opening the door for more crime, more insurrection, and more chaos.
Well, will it mean that they can break into my home anytime they want, savage my home, turn around and walk out with whatever they want, and the neighbors and myself can't do a damn thing about it?
How am I going to say a yay or a nay when right now the laws and how they're interpreted and how they're going to be enforced are so vague? Tony, I couldn't give you an answer.
Well, I tell you, this country, I can see what's happening in Twin Falls right now. This is just a sample. I've been through the same thing that's happening right now. I've been through it back east over 50 years ago. And I see what's happening, and it's coming fast.
Well, I don't even know what to say. I mean, every day we get on here and we talk about various stories. I haven't even had a chance to go through some other stories about Stacey Abrams and others. But when I heard about this yesterday, and I had my lovely bride pull out some information on it, I thought, really? Is this what we're coming to as a nation, where we're going to go ahead and say, oh, go ahead and steal. It's okay. It's only under $750. You just go ahead. This is repulsive.
What are we teaching the next generation of children that's
Bingo.
coming up? It's okay to start right now. You don't have to work anymore because you can go out and steal anything you want and have a garage sale somewhere.
You know, I don't understand why parents aren't absolutely livid over this and why the general public isn't absolutely livid over this. I don't understand why the people that live in Dallas County, Texas, aren't walking up to the district attorney headquarters with pitchforks in their hands saying, dude, you're out of here. I mean, I do not understand why good people that understand the basics of good law enforcement aren't livid about this.
Well, I'll tell you what the problem is. They haven't been subject to an attack yet. They've had things too good for too long.
I agree. Tony, it's always good to hear from you and Mary. God bless you. I got to get the weather on. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you. There's no way in the world that you can sit there and fathom any kind of sense. It's only nonsense of saying, well, I'm not going to prosecute these people because, maybe they needed the diapers and maybe they needed the food or they needed the T-bone steaks or whatever. That's under $750. Just let them steal. And like Adrienne, the lady that called a few minutes ago, said, well, what happens if 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 start going in and say, well, I'm poor. I just need to take from you. Please, excuse me, I've got the shopping cart here. I need to load my car. Good Lord. Time for the weather, brought to you by Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. And they're right behind the Minidoka Hospital across from the emergency room. And the number to call to make an appointment so that you can have your hearing health. You can find out what's the matter, and they can take care of it. Absolutely. Dr. Pickup and Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Hunsaker, all there to serve you. Number to call, 312-0957. Here now is Scott Mann with the weather.
Small chance of showers this afternoon and tonight, then sunshine. Good morning with your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron. For this morning, mostly sunny. Some isolated showers possible for this afternoon. Highs around 82. That chance of showers continuing on into tonight with a low of 53. Then for tomorrow, mostly sunny. Highs around 82. For Friday night, mostly clear. A low of 51. Saturday, sunshine and 83. Mostly clear for Saturday night and a low of 51. Then for Sunday, mostly sunny and a high of 84. That's your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron. Have a great day.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Scott Mann, and appreciate it. Brought to you by Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. And they are the best at what they do with personalized hearing treatment. Please get a hold of them today at 312-0957. Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. You know, what kind of a society would this turn into when we start turning a blind eye and a deaf ear to crime, thievery? What's next? What's next? All the businesses out there, how are they going to regulate this? And supposing somebody says, well, we're going to post somebody at the door And if you don't have the money and or a credit card or a shopper's card, you can't come in. Then they're going to get sued for discriminatory business practices, mark my words. So the poor store owner basically has to stand by and watch his revenue go down the toilet because of the laxity of enforcing the laws in this country by this stupid Dallas district attorney. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. And please don't call me and say, well, that's in Texas. It doesn't bother us. Yes, it does, because anything and everything that happens in this country basically has a lot to do with all of us. Don't forget the Bennett Boys Auction Service. They're going to have a great big Sutton Estate auction over in Buell this Saturday starting at 11 o'clock, and it's going to be located at 1634 East, 4300 North. From the Buell Medical Center, go east 1 mile, then north 2 miles, then east a quarter of a mile. Look for the signs of the Sutton Estate auction with cars, farm items, lawn and garden items, sporting goods, shop tools, clocks and clock parts, furniture, and all kinds of household items. And this sale managed by the Bennett Boys Auction Service. No sale too big, no sale too small. The Bennett Boys, they sell them all. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, Zeb, am I coming through clear?
Yes, and if you move, I'm going to get a rope and tie you in place.
Oh, yes? Well, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Again, I got to say this again. It bears repeating. In Los Angeles area, there are about 2.3 million illegals who don't speak English. They don't have driver's licenses. They don't have insurance. They might in some cases, but in most cases, it's just the Wild West. It's just Mexico moved to America. And there's no way to enforce it. They have underground economy. They do not pay taxes. They do everything on a cash basis. And, if you want to call me prejudiced, you can, but I'll tell you what, I have more Hispanic customers and friends around here than, I have a lot. And so I'm not prejudiced when you're honest and hardworking, but when you're sucking the system dry and you're destroying my society and the structure of it, then I'm worried. See, this cannot go on. It cannot be this kind of Wild West thing going on here.
Yeah, but wait a minute, Randy. Wait a minute. There's no skin color or connotation to any ethnicity or race on this. This is just an open-door policy of idiocy by this Dallas County District Attorney to say basically, regardless of your skin color or origin, whatever, oh, well, if you stole that food or you stole those baby dollars and diapers and it's worth less than $750, just go on home and enjoy. This kind of lunacy has got to stop. It's got to be nipped in the bud right now.
Well, if you go in every day and you steal $700 worth of stuff and they can't stop you and you're supporting your heroin addict, your addiction or your meth addiction, and it doesn't matter whether or not you're white trash or you're Hispanic or whatever you are, you're right. It doesn't matter because in this situation, everybody will take advantage of it that feels like it.
Yeah.
The rule of law, it's chaos.
What is the rule of law? Quickly, Randy, I've only got 2 minutes left. Wait a minute. Don't ramble on me here, buddy. What is the rule of law today? What is the rule of law? I mean, is there a don't do and a do? Is there a clearly defined you can't do this or you're going to be punished? It's being eradicated by the lawless Democratic Socialist Party, is it not? Quickly, give me a short answer.
Sure it is. It's perpetuated by this insanity. See, it can't continue. Some people have to follow the rules and others don't.
I appreciate your call, as always, every single day, but this is an issue that I'm not going to let lay, and we're going to follow this with this absolute stupid man, Dallas County District Attorney John Creuzot. I'm going to follow this into next week. Randy, God bless you. Have a good weekend. Thank you so much.
I'm going to call down there and see what I can
find out. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Want to remind you of our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations with all the tires you need for safe driving, whether it's for your car, your pickup, your SUV, boat trailer, horse trailer, whatever you get a hold of them today, they've got all the tires. Many of them on sale. Check it out. Along with the best in brake service, front end alignment, shocks and struts, batteries, all of this. But again, I go back to that word service. They really take care of you and help you. Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and Trent on Overland in Burley. The best, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Got to run to the news, but I just want to say this. I noticed that the high school rodeo in Pocatello, the state finals in full action, and a lot of good things coming out of the state finals high school rodeo, but you wouldn't know it by reading the Times News. We'll be back in about 7 minutes. Don't go away. Welcome back. Hour number 2 on a Thursday, June 13th. June 13th already. Holy moly, we're about 3 weeks away from 4th of July. Holy man. Good morning, and welcome to Zeb at the Ranch with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations serving you with the best of tires. And don't forget, too, some of our great advertisers like Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. Want to remind you, too, about our dear friends at Hanson Mortuary. I talked to Joel Heward, as a matter of fact, earlier this morning. Hanson Mortuary at 710 6th Street in Rupert, and the number to call, 436-5636. Joel Heward, his family, and his staff serving you and providing the families they serve with the best possible support and comfort. And remember this, always upholding the highest ethical standards with unquestioned integrity. Please, when there's the passing of a loved one, call them. They will help. Hanson Mortuary at 710 6th Street in Rupert, 436-5636. And Joel Heward also serving you and your family at Morrison Payne Funeral Home on East Main in Burley. Want to remind you, too, that don't forget about Vicky's Country Gardens and the Green Thumbs, Dirty Knees, and the gardening program we have on Mondays at 10:30. The lovely Miss Vicky's going to answer all your gardening questions. Mondays at 10:30, Vicky's Country Garden. Right now, let's scoot over to the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce and the president and CEO of the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce, Penny Main. Good morning.
Good morning, friend. How are you today?
I'll let you know at 5 o'clock what's cooking.
Well, we're busy here. It's our time of year. Of course, we're kind of down to the wire on our golf scramble. Next Wednesday, it all happens, and we've got 36 teams ready to go, 144 players from all over southern Idaho. And again, this is the biggest fundraising event for the Mini-Cassia Chamber. So we're so looking forward to that, praying for great weather. And as mentioned before, I just give a shout-out to Dave Haruza and his entire team for making this happen. This is I don't know if anybody's ever, I don't know if you've ever put on a golf chamber, a golf scramble, but I never realized how many moving parts were involved in a golf scramble. And I'm here to tell you, Dave Haruza's got it down, and we are so blessed to have him kind of running the show this year. So I just want to thank him a whole great deal.
All right. Well, that's coming up again next Wednesday, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
It's the 19th. So,
all right.
Again, we're full up, but if you want to get on a waiting list for next year, we already have a waiting list going. So if you want to get on a waiting list for next year to play, give us a call, and we'll get you on the list for next year. So.
What about what's coming up with the magazine, Destination Southern Idaho Magazines? Tell us about that.
Right, I want to get a couple over to you and Deanne too. I'll put some in the mail to you. But this is a a magazine that Chambers put out the last couple of years, if you will, and basically it focuses on all things with regard to tourism and recreation in our area, Mini-Cassia. There's another magazine that's put together called Southern Idaho Livability, and we work with the Twin Falls Chamber and the Jerome Chamber to put that magazine together. But Destination Southern Idaho is specifically geared toward Minidoka and Cassia counties, tourism, recreation, etc. It highlights events like the Idaho Spud Man is what I'm trying to say, the Idaho Spud Man, along with, of course, the regatta and those kinds of things that happen throughout the summer. And then it really kind of gives a snapshot of all the different places you can camp and tour throughout southern Idaho. So they are available. You're welcome to stop by and pick some up. We'll be distributing those to our members here over the next week or two. And again, if anybody wants any of those, we're happy to give those to you. So
yep.
We're right here at the Chamber.
I would love to have some sent up here. Thank you very much. Now, I understand my old friend, emphasis on the word old, Senator Kelly Anthon, I heard is going to be speaking at the Chamber luncheon today.
Well, he's going to, I know I'm older than he is, so it's just, but anyway, yeah, you know him. What a great guy. Gosh, we are so blessed to have this guy, as with such great influence in this area. I just think a lot of Kelly, and as you stated, of course he's a state senator. He's also head of the Rupert, city of Rupert as far as the city administrator goes. So we're taking our chamber luncheon today to Doc's Pizza in Rupert. And this is where we invite all of our chamber members to come, and they can come have lunch and kind of discover what's going on. And we have key speakers every month. But Kelly will be there today, and of course the on everybody's mind is the renovation of the square, et cetera, et cetera. Will it be ready by the July 4th celebration? All of those questions, and so he's going to answer those and many more, I'm sure, today. So he'll be our keynote speaker today.
Now, I would imagine the weather has turned for the better, and we're seeing 80s, sunshine, and a lot of people coming through this area, correct?
Yes, we are, actually, and it's one of the things I want to highlight. I know I've talked about it before, but the Chamber of Commerce here, this building here on the river, it's so beautiful, and we not only manage the Chamber out of this building, but we are also the visitor center, if you will. So it's the hub of where everybody comes to get maps and information and those kinds of things. But again, I just talked to a couple yesterday from Germany. They were driving through, and as you know, Burley's kind of a halfway point, if you will, between Salt Lake and Boise, and people often stop to take a break here at the beautiful park, and then they come in and get information. But people are coming from all over the area. But I just want everyone to know that we're stocked up with maps. We're stocked up with all sorts of information. All of us here, especially Vicki at the front end, she knows, how to get you where you need to go. So please let the Chamber know if we can help you in that regard.
Let me ask you this. I noticed on your cheat sheet that you sent me in regards to the relationships with all the communities, 12 in the Mini-Cassia area. It takes a lot to work with them and kind of be a liaison of their information and what they'd like to tell the public about what they have that's really beautiful and good to see in their respective area.
Yeah, and thanks. And thanks for, you put it perfectly. The Mini-Cassia Chamber is Minidoka and Cassia counties, but in that are 12 different towns. Rupert, Burley, Heyburn, I'll miss some of them, Raft River, Malta, Elmo, Oakley. And the span that we encompass is huge. And so once we get past our golf scramble, we're going to make a really concerted effort to get to all of our towns, to get to all of the city council meetings, and just let folks know, albeit whether you're in Almo or Malta or Raft River or you're in Burley or Rupert, that we're here for you. And if you need help, we're here to, promote business and development in this area. So we're looking forward to that, to really establishing some really strong relationships with folks, not only as far as members go and businesses, but also, city leaders. I just think it's really, really important that they know the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce is here to support them.
Absolutely. Penny, we've got a caller with a quick question. I've got a minute and a half left. Caller, quickly, you're on the air.
Hey, Zeb, this is Willie from Utah.
I tell you what, Willie, if it's not about the chamber right now, I've got to move on and go to another subject matter because I'm limited on time. I don't have time for a quick call.
Oh, darn. Oh, well, I wanted to talk about the prosecutor, but maybe another time.
Hey, please do. I'd appreciate that. Thank you. We're limited on time and different segments this morning. Penny, to kind of wrap up, if you would.
Radio, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. You've been there and done that type of thing. Anything else about how all the 9,376 ways people can get a hold of the Chamber of Commerce?
Head to our website, minikeshachamber.com. We try to keep that updated as well, but, we try to stay on top of those kinds of things. Again, we're located right here on the corner, right across from Gosner's and the Upper Crust on the beautiful Snake River. You're welcome to stop by here Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And if you just want to pick up the phone and give us a call, we're here as well. So 679-4793.
Penny Main, the president and CEO of the Minnetonka Chamber of Commerce. Another great report, rapid fire. That's the way we like it. Thanks, Penny.
Thanks, Zeb.
God bless. Take care. Penny Main and the Chamber of Commerce, thank you. And right now I also want to remind you about Father's Day over at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More. Oh, take Dad by the hand and say, come on, we're going shopping. I don't want to go shopping. Yes, you do, Dad. We're going to buy you something. Oh, okay, let's go. Let's go to Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More. My. They've got all kinds of great buys on mattresses, 50 to 70% off. And, of course, with Father's Day, he needs a new comfy recliner. Oh, whether it is a lift recliner, massage recliner, rocker recliner, I don't care what kind it is, they've got them all at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More. 459 Overland and Burley with Jeff and the whole crew. All the furniture, all the bedroom sets, all the carpet, all the floor coverings. What are you waiting for? It's all there. Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More. 459 Overland in Burley. Real quick, too, I want to remind you about Let's Ride. Oh, yes, sirree, Bobby. That's where the fun is sold. 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. Saturdays, 9 to 4. And they've got all the side-by-sides, the four-wheelers, the watercrafts. This weekend, great to get out on the lakes and the rivers and the streams. Oh, it's going to be fun. Get out and enjoy Southern Idaho. And don't forget, Let's Ride has a great accessory department and a service department to keep you running. Let's Ride. 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World. There, absolutely the truth is said now. This is where the fun is sold. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to visit with some of our friends over at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, and they have an excellent service for you and everyone at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. And the number to call, 678-1191. Here now is one of the physical therapists serving you, Jeff Jensen at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. Wheels, if you would, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, right now we're going to go over to Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, and I get a chance to talk to literally my friends that are helping other people get back to being themselves. And I'm talking to Jeff Jensen, and he's one of the many great physical therapists at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. Good morning, Jeff. How are you?
I'm doing great, Zeb. Good morning. How are you?
Well, tell us a little bit about your title. You said you're a certified instructor for physical therapy. What does that mean?
Yeah, I took an online course through the American Physical Therapy Association to become a clinical instructor for those students who need to perform a clinical rotation while they're in school. So, in fact, at the moment, I do have a student from Idaho State University's program under my tutelage, and she'll be with me for another 4 weeks.
Okay, so that means that this particular student is kind of, and pardon the expression, shadowing you and everything you do at Burley Physical Therapy. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah. They learn techniques, they learn documentation, they learn patient care. They learn everything while they're here with us.
You know, I can't imagine how you know all the different muscles of the body and the bones and the techniques that are necessary to help get a person to feeling better after an accident or surgery or whatever. The knowledge absolutely amazes me. How do you learn all this stuff?
Well, a lot of people have different techniques, but a lot of it is rote memorization and then trial by error. You keep trying until you find the one that hurts. But you're right, that there are hundreds of different muscles and nerves throughout the body connecting different joints and causing different motions, and you really got to pay attention and find the one that's giving you the problem.
Now, you specialize, Jeff, you mentioned to me in a previous conversation, you specialize in wound care and aquatic treatment. Let's start with the wound care. What does that mean? What do you do and help people? How do you serve them?
So wound care would be any kind of an injury to your skin, your integumentary system, and physical therapists as well as registered nurses specialize in this. A few doctors do it, but they usually have us help them with the care of this. So that would be anything you can do to dress or debride old tissue or to create pressure to heal those wounds. So we clean them, we trim away old stuff, we put different types of medicines on the wounds, and then we dress them and keep them clean until they finally close.
So the healing process, without the evils of infection, you're really an integral part working with the doctors and the patient to make sure that thing's going to heal up properly, right?
Absolutely, and it can take some time depending on the patient's overall health. So some people heal up quicker than others.
Okay, what about the aquatic treatment? This has always fascinated me because when I had polio as a little boy, they said swimming and anything in the water is really good for muscle stimulation. Is that right?
Absolutely. So, Zeb, you've got to experience our pool here and how good it feels as you're working out in that water. You know, that chest-deep water creates a negative weight-bearing situation because of buoyancy. So you decompress the lower extremity joints and some of the lower back, taking some of that weight and that pressure off of those joints, allowing more freedom of movement, and just a lot of great things to happen. Well, also, down at that deeper level with your feet, you get some pretty decent pressure, so if you have swelling in your lower extremities, that helps down there as well. We get a lot of children in there, in the water with those warmer temperatures, to cerebral palsy kid, and just really work well with them in the water. Just freeze things up very well for them.
You know, let me ask you this. I mean, the person's in the water, a person's in the pool, and you're poolside. Do you get the same responses as perhaps other type of therapy when I'm in there and they're helping me with my legs, some of the stretching and everything? Can you do that while they're in the pool and achieve the same results or even better results?
You know, I would tend to say a little bit better. And the reason being is that the temperature really relaxes nerves and really allows the patient to relax and calm as well. So I think you can enhance a decent stretch throughout anywhere in the body when you're in water compared to other situations.
Jeff, is the aquatic treatment and the pool therapy, etc., is that a relatively new type of study and therapy, or has this been going on for a long time?
No, it's actually been around for a while, Zeb, and ironically, they started using aquatic therapy on animals before they switched it over to humans. Racehorses were some of the leading edge technology was using water to train a racehorse, and so it's trickled down into helping humans out, and it's awesome. It's unbelievable. The difference here in southern Idaho is that there's not very many facilities that offer that, and we happen to be one of them. And so they're few and far between in this rural country, but it's an amazing way to go.
Jeff, with your title and your certificate of education and your practicing physical therapy, etc., are there changes in your profession almost every day, every year, etc., that you have to go back and learn about some new techniques?
We're required by the state, when we carry a license, to get continuing education credits. PTAs, like myself, have to have 16 per year. And I believe physical therapists are around the same. So every year we go to a weekend class, or we'll get online and study a different technique or a different method, or study about a knee or study about a shoulder, and they'll give us X amount of credits for those classes. So yes, continuing education credits are crucial, and we have to have those every year to renew our license.
Is this field of physical therapy, is it something that's growing in popularity and a lot of people want to get into it, or what's the demand for physical therapists across the country right now?
Right now it seems the job market seems to be fairly fluctuant, meaning there's some opportunities for people to fill some positions, but like any other profession, it ebbs and flows. Nursing will once in a while have a big demand for students coming out of school, and then all of a sudden their market is saturated. So like any other medical field, it does ebb and flow. But physical therapy seems to be having some positions available quite frequently right now. So.
I've noticed the times I've been into Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, when you've been working on me, it seems like there's a real personality there. There's a knowledge of all the exercises. There's a knowledge of what can be done to help other people. What, in your opinion, sets your operation, Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, different or above anyone else?
One thing that we really like to do is to just make it fun. Try not to be so stuffy. Try not to be so technical. Just get down to earth with people, make them feel at home, and make them feel comfortable. If you can get trust and comfort with someone, man, you'll be surprised what they'll do for you, and they can accomplish their goals a lot quicker if they're more comfortable with what they're doing. And let's face it, physical therapy can be pretty awful. We can make people hurt, and we have a reputation for making people hurt. But if you can make people feel like this is what they've got to do, they need to do it, and really trust you, then that's where you can see some good benefits.
Well, the atmosphere, and like you the other day wearing your birthday cap, I thought that was just really conducive to making people feel comfortable, and yet the knowledge of all the exercises and helping them with their aches and pains and any problems they've got. What do you suggest to people? Just to call, or do you want them to have to go through their doctor? What's the best way to get involved with you and other physical therapists at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation?
So there's several different methods that are available. The state of Idaho has made physical therapy available to anyone, even without insurance. But if you do have insurance and you do have physical therapy benefits, it does help to have a referral from a physician, because otherwise the insurance usually will not pay for that. However, if you do feel like you want a few treatments or some ideas or some help, and you don't want to run it through insurance, you're free to walk in and set an appointment. Whatever's most convenient for you.
I can tell you what, audience, this is one of the good guys, one of the really nice people, and they're involved in helping you with all your aches and pains to get back to the real you. Jeff Jensen, physical therapist at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, and the number to call, 678-1191. Jeff, thank you, God bless, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Zeb. We appreciate you.
All right, sir.
I tell you what, folks, I'm honored and privileged to know all the people over there at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, and I'm going back in tomorrow for another treatment. They are really, really good at what they do. Don't forget, I know some other people that are really, really good at what they do, and that's Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. My goodness, the best of life insurance, health insurance, retirement planning, employee benefits, all of this and more, and it's so simple to get them to help you. Just call the number and make an appointment. Number to call, 436-4424. That number again, 436-4424. Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert, waiting right this minute to serve you. Holy cow, in just a moment, we are going to go to visit with Rita Ramsey. I want to reiterate something I mentioned in the first hour, and I want to mention again about the GoFundMe page for Dwayne Steiner, the owner of Downtown Leatherworks, that was in a horrendous, terrible car accident, along with his wife, and very unfortunately, it took Marianne's life, and Dwayne is in the hospital in very, very critical condition up at St. Al's. The GoFundMe page is gofundme.com/Dwayne and Mary Ann Steiner. That name and how to do it again, gofundme.com/Dwayne and Mary Ann Steiner, please, if you would. Right now, we say a good morning to a dear, dear friend of mine, and I have been gone the last couple of weeks and not really able to visit with her, so I say, Rita, how are you?
She just barely called.
Okay, she's calling in as we speak. I can hear the phone ringing. I'll try that again. 1, 2, 3. Rita, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
The timing was critical. Thank you very much.
I never know how long I should wait before you take a breath to call in.
You know, and the breaths are few and far between sometimes. Hey, were you listening? Were you listening the first hour of the program?
Partially I was, yes.
I got to ask you your impression of what I was talking about with the Dallas County District Attorney, a NRB, not real bright, by the name of John Creuzot, that said that he has plans now to not prosecute for certain low-level crimes, i.e. thievery. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, I think he's a total idiot. But second of all, if I lived in that county, I would be going door to door to all of the businesses and sign petitions to have him removed because it is his job. He swore that he would uphold the law, and that is the only thing that the government is supposed to be doing is to protect people's property rights.
Where do you...
And by not doing that, he's not doing any of his job.
Absolutely. But, you know, there were so many callers in the first hour regarding the subject matter as to somebody goes into a store and they say, well, I'm just going to take this today and you can't stop me because it's under $750. I'm just going to get all the baby diapers and the milk and the cheese and the T-bone steaks and everything. Sorry, store owner, you're out of luck. I mean, this could blow up into being a huge problem. It's got to be stopped now.
Well, it is, and it just boils back down to that same thing. You've got all of these Democrat people who are hollering for socialism, and socialism means to make everybody equal. Anyway, they think that's what it means. We've got to have everybody equal. The rich can't be rich, and we can't have the poor be poor, so we'll take from the rich and give it to the poor, and then everybody's going to be on equal standings. And that's just not going to work. It never does. There wasn't a society, one, that has flourished or grown or become good when that happens, because there's always those that sit around and let somebody else do the work. And when that's the case, those who are working are kind of saying, I think it's time to exit here, and off they go.
You know, Rita, the thing that I'm concerned about is it's not only in Texas that this has been happening and has been introduced to not prosecute the theft of personal items worth a certain amount, but it's kind of following along in lockstep with what the Democratic Socialist Party is all about, a lawless society. Do you agree with that or not?
Oh, absolutely. The thing of it is, and they make this very clear when they talk about it, is they want it to be according to their law, not the law.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, look at...
They can choose.
Well, yeah, from whether you prosecute somebody for stealing groceries or whatever it might be, or allowing illegal aliens to come here, breaking the law, allowing illegal aliens to get Medicare or health insurance free, breaking the law, or giving them a driver's license, breaking the law. I mean, where do you finally say to the Democrats, enough, you're done, we're going to take back over and restore the respect for laws in our country?
Well, this is why everybody's so upset with President Trump. He has restored a lot of laws in this country, and he's gone after a lot of the things that he says, I'm sticking up for America again. And the Democrats don't want that, and if the truth is known, there's probably at least half, if not more, Republicans that feel the same way. It's kind of like, hey, we're the law. You can't tell us what to do. We can't let America be the ones who are in charge again. We're in charge. And it just boils down to power, and it's their law because they want the laws that protect them enforced. Like the laws that they want enforced are, it doesn't matter whether we get insider information or not. We don't have to go to jail. But Martha Stewart and Zeb or Rita have to if they get insider information and buy stocks and bonds. So it's their law that they want to go by, not the law of the land. And they don't want to change the law because it may not favor them all the time.
Bernie Sanders made a speech yesterday that was basically geared to the younger millennials in our United States. And he said and was touting the wonders of socialism. And he was saying that it's going to be the way of the future. It's absolutely a higher path that we need to go on. And you know what bothers me? There's a lot of gullible people and naive people in this United States because they were standing up and cheering for this idiot.
Well, this is what's really concerning is when we've been so prosperous that a lot of people don't think that they need to, to worry about what's going on. And this is where our younger generation is they haven't seen times that were difficult, that people had to work and struggle and, finally get to the top and say, you know what, I'm keeping what I've been working for. It's like somebody can just hand it to me and it doesn't matter. And if there's somebody that's advocating that's a politician, man, I'm for him because I don't want to have to work. I don't want to have to pay my student loans. I don't want to have to do this and that and the other. I was having a conversation with a fellow a few weeks back, and he says, I just wonder what's the reason for all this? And I told him, I said, the reason is we have experienced too much prosperity. When you have a society that people have to go to work and scrounge and kind of climb their way up to the top, and as young people, like when I'm saying young, I started babysitting when I was 10 years old, and I babysat every day after school into the evenings, and I did that all through high school, all through the summers and everything, just to earn money on my own so that I could kind of have some of the things that I wanted. My folks were not very plush with money, and I came from a kind of a bigger family, and so we kind of had to work for the things that we got. And I look back at it and I say, you know what, that's what shaped me. That's what made me a hard worker and want to realize that I can go out and do something on my own, and it's all up to me. But when you just hand money over to people or give them, let's give everybody a free college education, nobody's going to have to work for anything except the people who are paying taxes, then all of a sudden it just doesn't mean anything. And until we can't come to a time when there isn't so much prosperity just out there for everybody, I think it's going to get worse.
Well, you've dovetailed right into what I was going to talk about next, and that's the idiocy. And I'm going to be very blunt with my verbiage because it is idiocy of free health care, free Medicare for all. How dumb, honestly, can the American public be when we start thinking about the democratic socialist bureaucracy, and they're saying that, well, we're going to have free health care to the illegal aliens in California. It's only going to cost $98 million, but you, the taxpayer, you're going to provide that free health care to those illegal aliens. Right there, Rita, I am so offended because when you think of the filth, the absolute filth and the gutter living that's going on in California by citizens that belong to this country, they're getting far less as far as help and a hand up as they're providing to illegal aliens. The Democratic Socialist Party is a party that needs to go down.
Well, it really does, and until you can get people that are informed sharing their information with those who aren't informed, you're going to have at least a third of the population saying, oh, this is okay. And I think we ought to just send them all over to California and say, you know what, we're going to put up a big fence and you can all stay in California and everything will be wonderful and fine, and you can all live in your little socialism society together. The big problem is that those people who are living there and pay property taxes and work, they're the ones who are footing the bill right now. The federal government is having to kick in tons and tons of money, and all they're doing is destroying it. My first question with people when they come to this country, and it doesn't matter whether they come legally or illegally, is why did you want to come here? And why do you want to make our country into what you left?
Yeah, absolutely. I personally, and I don't care who's offended by this, Rita, I don't care if they want to come here to this country. And if they want to come in legal fashion and they want to be a resident of whether it's here in the Magic Valley or whether it's California, Oklahoma, wherever, and they want to be a part of the community and part of the culture of America, but not the dissecting and the fragmentation of America so that they could create their own little country that they left. I'm sick and tired of this.
Well, and that's just it. You know, even right here in the Magic Valley, I know there's a number of them in this area of the Magic Valley. There are people who have come from California and Oregon, and not so many from back east, but we have a lot of people that come from California, and they get in here, and pretty soon they start saying, well, we need to make a law to do this, and you can't do that, and you can't do this and that and the other, and basically they're trying to implement their global warming and a lot of the stupid things that California implemented that caused them to leave in the first place. And it's kind of like, you know what, we're okay for you to come here. You can come here and retire, you can come here and work, you can come here and do whatever you want. But don't try to make us into California. That's why you left California. So you just keep your California stuff to yourself and adapt to Idaho and be a citizen of Idaho and how we live. We don't have a state that is just literally on the brink of being destroyed by all that stuff. I've heard, I haven't been there and I refuse to go. California will be the last place I go on vacation probably. Now, I mean, I've been there a number of times, but with what's going on in Los Angeles and San Francisco and places like that, with all of the homelessness and the things that are going on, I would not go down there and spend any time or money.
No.
Because I don't want to see it.
No, I totally agree with you. We have a caller with a quick question. Caller, make it brief, please. You're on the air.
Yeah, I hope this prosecutor, I hope this idea spreads among other Democrat prosecutors and police chiefs and judges and stuff, and I hope it'd be very poetic justice if their homes and cars became subject to, shall we say, theft by people because they feel like, hey, there's no consequences to this. But I think what would really happen is you'd find out that they don't really believe in this policy. They would enforce it against someone if they were the victim, or their friends or their campaign donors were the victims. But against you and me and the small business owners, no, they're not going to enforce it. It's a destruction of the rule of law. It's basically saying, well, no, the law is only enforced against certain people, if certain people are victims. That by and large we're going to just do it. It'll ignore the consequences.
Absolutely.
Anyway, that's all.
Caller, I appreciate your comment. Thank you for your call. And Rita, he said something that absolutely, the word consequences. And that word means a lot when you stop and think about the lack of consequences for people's actions or the inability to really perform and regulate the laws of the land. There is no consequence for your actions. You're free to do what you want, free to take what you want, free to hurt who you want, and basically we're creating nothing more than chaos here in the greatest country in the world.
Well, and that's how Banana Republic places became Banana Republics, is there was no rule of law. There was so much corruption that they can't do business as a country. And, you know, he made an excellent point there that as long as it's somebody else that has to worry about losses, it doesn't bother me, it's okay. But I know darn good and well that whoever is at the helm of enforcing it finds themselves the victim, it'll change real quick.
Well, and the point is, you know, it doesn't affect me. Now, the story about this district attorney down in Texas, people might say, well, that's down in Texas. We don't have to worry about it up here. But you know as well as I do that when a cancer like that starts, it grows and envelops into other communities, and then the real problem begins.
Well, it does, and if this is Dallas County, and I don't know how the counties go or where they're at, but if this bleeds into Austin, pretty soon they'll be the lawmakers that are doing all of the making those laws, and it will affect everybody else who's obeying the law and trying to get along. It will infect and it will spread, and it will be the downfall of their republic, of their state.
Absolutely. I'm going to take a break and get the weather on here, and then when I come back, I'm going to talk about one of your favorite people. I know you like this lady and want to go to lunch with her, so we'll talk about her in just a minute. Stand by. Don't forget our weather this hour brought to you by Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane and Company, and they've been providing accounting services to the Mini-Cassia area for well over 50 years. They are extremely professional and knowledgeable about what they do and how they help you, your family, and your business. Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane and Company, with offices in Burley and Rupert, with the best of tax return preparation, tax planning, business consulting, retirement planning, all of this and so much more. Be sure and call them. Make an appointment today. Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane and Company. And right now, here's Scotty with the weather.
Small chance of showers this afternoon and tonight, then sunshine. Good morning with your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron. For this morning, mostly sunny. Some isolated showers possible for this afternoon. Highs around 82. That chance of showers continuing on into tonight with a low of 53. Then for tomorrow, mostly sunny. Highs around 82. For Friday night, mostly clear. A low of 51. Saturday, sunshine and 83. Mostly clear for Saturday night and a low of 51. Then for Sunday, mostly sunny and a high of 84. That's your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron. Have a great day.
Thank you, Scotty, and brought to you by Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane and Company, with the best of accounting services to you, your family, and your business, with offices in Burley and Rupert. We're on the phone right now with my dear friend Rita Ramsey. And Rita, I know this next lady I'm going to talk about, why you would just love to go do tea with her and visit and have a cookie or whatever. And I'm talking about the former candidate for Georgia governor, Stacey Abrams. Why, she's telling everybody she's the real governor of Georgia, and the one that's in there is nothing more than a phony.
Well, actually, I think I would like to go have lunch with her because I would kind of set her straight. She did not win the election, and there was not voter suppression like she thought. And if she thinks it was unfair, she needs to go back and do some investigation and find the evidence. I think she'll find that she lost fair and square, and the only way that you get elected to office is if you're the winner. And so for her to be acting like the Democrats, which is typical these days because it doesn't matter what election is being held, if a Democrat loses, all of a sudden they were cheated out of it. And, we could go back and start naming and put on a list of people who actually were winners, and then somebody came along with a trunk full of ballots, and all of a sudden a Democrat became the winner. Starting with Al Franken and a few others, like the guy up in Alaska, and there's numbers of them we could mention. And the Republicans said, okay, fine. And, I mean, what are you going to do? But here we've got all these Democrats saying, no, you can't do that. Trump didn't win. He's not really the president. Somebody else should be. And I don't know whether they think that if Donald Trump finally gets removed from office with impeachment, or whether they just scare him out of Washington that Hillary will become the president or what. But they obviously don't know the authority and the line of continuation once the president is removed or moves on.
You know,
he's not the one who lost the election.
That's exactly right. But, you know, in the case of Stacey Abrams, this woman is not a shining light of being well-educated and saying stupid things. And I'll tell you why. She says, well, voter suppression stopped me from being the governor. Whoops, stop the bus for a minute, open the door, let everybody have some fresh air. If she's claiming voter suppression, Rita, how come they had the biggest voter turnout for that election in recent history?
Well, they just discount the fact that black people, and I'm sure that's who she's referring to, because she figures that all the black people would have voted for her, and if all of them did, she possibly would have won. The big problem is that all of the black people didn't vote for her, and black people are no more stupid than regular people, and they can get ID, and they can go and vote, and they do, and just because they are black doesn't mean that they're going to vote for the person with black skin. They may vote for somebody else. So she's just dreaming, and it's sad because she's making herself look like a real idiot. And I think she's just taking a page out of AOC's book, saying that I can just go out and say anything, and pretty soon people will believe it.
One final thought or story that I wanted you to comment on is, as you know, I'm extremely pro-life, and everybody yammers and hammers about the mother and abortions and everything, but nobody really stands up for the baby. And I understand that from a call that I had earlier this morning from a gentleman back in Washington, D.C., that I really, really treasure his information, that Planned Parenthood is trying to force doctors and medical staff to perform abortions, and many doctors are saying, no, I will not do it, and Planned Parenthood is planning on suing them to force them to do it. The Hippocratic Oath and taking care of mankind and trying to keep mankind healthy, it doesn't mean anything when it means taking the life of a baby?
Well, I think what they need to do is they're just going to have to band together and let the Supreme Court decide, because that's what it's going to take. And the Supreme Court will come up and say, you know what, if they don't want to kill people, they don't have to. It's just that simple, and it's just really sad that it's come down to it. But this is what happens when they get power and they get all the money that they want, is that they will find that they can say anything and do anything, and people listen, and a lot of people think they're the ones who are in charge and they're the ones who make the law, but they're not. And one of these days, if right wins over wrong, they will not have all the money that they want, because the government will not be funding all of this, and it shouldn't be in it anyway.
You know, my worry, Rita, with the Medicare for All dum-dums like Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, Bug-Eyed Booker, and the rest of them, they understand only one thing, and that's complete control of the medical information and history of everybody in this country. And they don't realize that it would create a no choice for us on doctors. Doctors will be paid, and I've done some study on this, if they take the Medicare for All way, approximately 40% less. There'd be a whole less amount of money for research, and there'd be no private health insurance plans. And then on the other side of the coin, people like Biden and others want us to pay an additional $30 trillion for that kind of garbage health care.
Well, it's just really too bad that people are so stupid to believe this kind of stuff, because it's people who believe it that makes them keep just saying this much more outrageous things that you and I both know is not going to happen. It can't happen. It won't last. They can take over and be totally in charge, and pretty soon we'll be Cuba. We'll have a dictator. It won't be Trump that's the dictator. It will be somebody like Maduro or Castro or the Chinese guy, Xinjiang, whatever his name is. They will have somebody who is a dictator, and pretty soon all of their rights and their freedoms and their liberty is gone.
I always look forward to Thursdays, and during the course of the summer, Sharon's going to alternate with me a little bit on Thursdays, and it's so good to talk to you again. Any final thoughts? I got about 30 seconds left.
No, I just think that what we need to do is make sure we help people get informed. So those people who know something about what's really going on, you hear somebody say something stupid, kind of give them the real picture and let them understand that they need to become a little bit more informed about what's going on so they don't lose their liberty.
Absolutely. Rita Ramsey, God bless you. I hope you're having an enjoyable summer, and we'll talk to you next week. Thank you so much.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thanks, Rita. Oh, I love that lady. She is always welcome on this program. Thank you very much, Rita Ramsey. Tell you what, I had a bowl of cereal at 4 o'clock this morning. You know where I'm headed. And I'm hungry, and I'm starving to death. I know some great places to go if you are hungry and starving to death. And they include the AC Drive-In at 601 East Main in Burley. Oh, shakes of all the different flavors. Burgers of all types. My favorite, the Farmer Brown burger. Oh, it's delicious. And the fries and the special sauce and the tater tots. Oh, please, stop into the AC Drive-In at 601 East Main in Burley. Don't forget to our friends at Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley. One of the great places to get together with your friends in the morning to have coffee, and along with that cup of coffee, a breakfast burrito, scrambled eggs, bacon and sausage, cheese, onions, tomatoes, and sauce on a tortilla shell. Knock your boots off delicious, along with all the other great menu choices at Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley. Well, there's two locations of Burgers Etc. 124 South Oneida in Rupert and 700 Overland in Burley, and they're now serving the famous strawberry shakes. I love strawberry shakes. And they've got burritos. Listen to this. Corn dogs and burritos, only $1.39 after 3 p.m. Whoa! You can't beat that. Don't forget, great, helpful people serving delicious food at Burgers Etc. in Rupert and Burley. Well, last but not least, let's head on over to Steve-O's at 290 South, 600 west of Hayburn. Food made the way you love it. Great music on the weekends. The patio's open. You can sit out there and just enjoy. And they've got delicious buffalo burgers and the new cheesy broccoli spuds. And they've got all those delicious cupcakes. Cupcakes galore, different flavors all the time. I'm telling you, great people serving you at Steve-O's, 290 South, 600 west of Hayburn, and those are just a few great places to go when you're hungry and starving to death. Wow. Really been a good week. Enjoyed all the calls, and we've got another hour to go. Coming up next hour, we're going to have the Cassia County School Days report with Debbie Critchfield. Then we have our business salute coming on, and we're going to be talking to Barry Equipment and Rental. Corey Chandler's going to be on the air. And then at 10:30 this morning, we're going to be talking to the Chief Executive Officer and Chairman of the Board for American Resources Corporation, Mr. Mark C. Jensen, and talking about the absolute lunacy of getting rid of the coal industry. You don't want to miss a minute of it. Zeb at the Ranch, I'll be back in 7. All right, let's rock and roll right into this third hour on this June 13th. Zeb at the Ranch, and of course brought to you by our major sponsor, your Magic Valley, Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you with the best in tires. You stop in and see them today, along with some of our great advertisers like Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. Want to remind you, too, about our friends at Patterson's. Good morning over there at 421 East Main in Burley. Curtis and Lorena, they got the door open and they say, come on in. If you're looking for a TV, oh, do they have a selection of Samsung and Sony, Toshiba, the list goes on. And don't forget, they are your electronics headquarters. I mean, they've got all the home theater systems and the video surveillance cameras, and the HughesNet internet is available over there, complete sound systems, car stereos and speakers. Wow. It's all there at Patterson's, 421 East Main in Burley. And they're open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6. And don't forget, Curtis and Lorena say, come on into Patterson's, 421 East Main in Burley. A big reminder before we go to Cassia County School Days about the Idaho Regatta for 2019. It's going to be June 27, 28, 29, and 30, right around the corner, right there down at the Burley Golf Course and Marina. Oh, my goodness, a world-famous event. It's going to start on Thursday the 27th with the show and shine on the square in Rupert and continue on through the weekend with all kinds of different classes of great boat racing. You don't want to miss this. Get your tickets now, and don't forget special rates for veterans and seniors 62 and over. At the gate only, must show a valid ID to receive a discount, and only $10. You better check it out today. The Idaho Regatta for 2019. Go to idahoregatta.org for more information. Right now, let's go to the next segment, and very, very blessed to have these folks on our program every week with the Cassia County School System and the communications officer for Cassia County Schools, the lovely Debbie Critchfield. Good morning. How are you?
I am well. Good morning.
Debbie, one of the things on my program, and I make this a rule that will not be bent and it will not be broken, is that I deal in facts only. I do not deal in rumors, and my philosophy is always distrust the story the first time you hear it and then verify. That's not bad advice to take on any situation, is it?
No, and in a school district there are issues and conversations and discussions that take place, and we are always happy to be the first source and best source for information about what's going on in Cassia schools.
Now, are there stories and or / rumors that maybe you'd like to talk about this morning?
I would love to take some time to address some possible changes with facility management. Several years ago, in fact, 5 years ago, I worked with the First Citizens Group when the discussion of growth in the community and how are we going to address this with our facilities. I've facilitated 2 separate citizens groups that have gone to look into the management of our facilities. Are they adequate? Do they accommodate our students? Aging facilities, as you know, we've been on your program for years talking about school bonds and so forth, and how we address the facility issues, which operations in a school district are a huge part of the decision-making. One of the top priorities, if not the top priority, before any conversation took place relative to new construction was, what's your program, what are you doing to ensure that the square footage that we have now is well maintained, and how are we doing where that is concerned. We have heard over the years when we have solicited feedback from the community that being efficient in how we manage facilities, being conscientious in the resources that we use is important to the community, as it should be, and it's important to every school board through the recent past. A few weeks ago, so I'm going to fast forward to a few weeks ago. Well, that's actually too quick. Back in the fall, our board and district officials began having some conversations on this very topic. What is the most efficient and cost-effective way to manage our 18 schools that are student-occupied, and when you count up sheds and other types of facilities, we're nearing 60. So it's a large operation when you consider maintenance, custodial grounds, and so forth. In the process of doing that, there were several ideas that were thrown around at various times. The board talked about it in an open meeting as recently as April, and then in May, at the beginning of May, they had a work session where they directed Dr. Schenk to engage in a conversation with the intent of privatizing operations, custodial and maintenance operations and grounds for the school district. And the intent of engaging and starting that conversation was to get a proposal, to look at what that would take. There was a particular company that has already contracted with 4 other school districts in Idaho Those districts were contacted to gauge the capacity to handle it. What does it look like? And so after several weeks of having some conversations with a particular company, then Dr. Schenk invited our custodial and maintenance and grounds crews on the 31st of May to hear about the intent, that the board was looking towards this. This was what was asked, to look at a proposal, that there would be an investigation of the facilities. In the early conversations, the intent was also that employees would be able to transfer to this new company if indeed that is the direction the board ultimately went. And so that's where we are now. There's been no proposal that has been viewed by the board. There's no contract that's been signed. I know that there is a variety of information out there, a variety of opinions and conversations. The ultimate goal in all of this was to be, I keep using the word efficient, but that's the best word that I can think of, to efficiently and effectively manage the operations of the school district and provide a savings to where we are now, keeping as a standard in all of this that employees would be able to retain their positions with a new company, whoever the board chose to fulfill those responsibilities or that role. So that's a very long introduction, a long story.
No, I think it was very well handled, and I think I would just interject and say that nothing is concrete, and yet you're looking on behalf of the Cassia County School District the most cost-effective way of handling this situation.
Budgets are tight. The state does not reimburse school districts to a great degree for maintenance of schools. There is no money that comes to the state for the construction of new schools. As we know, we've pursued several bonds in the recent past. And so this conversation grew out of responses from the community. How do we do this better? What does that look like? And it wasn't something that took place just 2 weeks ago. It has been an ongoing public discussion for a minimum of 5 years with two different citizens groups. And recently, it got to a point where, as I mentioned, the board directed our superintendent, we believe that this is a direction that we would like to head. Again, maintaining the desire and the goal to keep our people employed with someone else that manages them. You know, some of the advantages of that right out of the gate are that all new equipment, we haven't had the budget for equipment to keep up, training, ongoing support with safety and other things. There's a buying power with some of these larger companies that's all they do is facility management. And again, I really want to underscore the fact that other school districts in the state had worked with this particular company, which is why it went that direction, you know, this group on this conversation, because you want to go you want to start with companies that you know have a reputation for being responsible and respectable. And so there's a variety of, conversations out there from our employees. All of our custodians were terminated on the 31st. That is not correct. And that the board had signed a contract and is, this is happening. That is also not correct. This was their discussion. This is an intent. They will actually review any proposal if it is ready to go and discuss it in their open meeting on the 20th of June.
What do you do to squash fires like this? I mean, other than coming on this program, there's nothing concrete, and I'm sure that you would welcome phone calls, to which we have one right now. Caller, quickly. We've got about 3.5 minutes left. Go ahead, please.
I'll make it quick. I'm just wondering how it is that a company that has profit motive can do this for less than the school district can. I don't understand that. If you could speak a little more to that, I would appreciate it.
All right, caller. Thank you. Debbie, please.
Yeah, that's a wonderful question that we are answering around the community. I mentioned the buying power of supplies. They spend billions of dollars a year on supplies. We spend hundreds of thousands. That's just one little area. The main area comes through the benefits. We are required to expend so much money towards benefits in a way that the state mandates. And this company, because they are private, they are able to have a more, their buying power when it comes to health insurance and retirement and some of these other areas. They have more flexibility than the school does within the sideboards of the state. And so that is an area where they are able to save money that we cannot.
Okay, we have another quick call. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Keep it brief, please.
Briefly, just a quick question. Wasn't there an official statement by the district saying they were going to make this take effect July 1st? And that statement is put out on the letterhead, that kind of thing. Just a quick question.
Yeah, so two things on that. Number one, when the board initially discussed the intent to move this direction, the hope was that this contract and this transition would be able to take effect by July 1st so that there was no stoppage in the work that needed to be done over the summer. That was a goal. There was no proposal that was addressed at that time. And so I'm glad for this question because, Zeb, it goes back to your original question, how do we address questions, how do we answer concerns? One of the things that we have done is we have regularly updated. I have updated information on our website. We've tried to update here and there where appropriate. Unfortunately, for some, it has appeared that that is a way of manipulating the facts or trying to hide things, that we're not being transparent, when indeed we have tried to improve upon the information that was sent out initially. Okay, this was confusing to people. Let's revise. Let's make it more specific. If the impression or if it was implied that the board had signed a contract, we need to fix that because they haven't. And so as we've had revisions and updates to further clarify the information, then for some it has appeared that we are changing facts, which is not the case.
Okay. Debbie, I'm out of time, and I wished I had more time to address this issue, but if people have questions, and I'm sure they do, is there a centralized number they can call and get the information that they request?
Sure. I would encourage people to call the school district central office, 878-6600. They are welcome to ask for me or for Dr. Shank. We're happy to address questions. And again, I would encourage those who would like to know where we are now and what the next steps are and what they look like to come to the school board meeting. It's at the school central office, south of Burley, next Thursday at 7 p.m.
All right. Debbie Critchfield is the Cassia County Schools Communications Officer. God bless you, Debbie. Thank you for coming on the program, and please come back soon.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much. Same to you. Nice lady right there, Debbie Critchfield, and I thank her for being on Cassia County School Days. Oh, I got to tell you about a quick auction, and then we're going to get our good friend Corey Chandler on the air. Don't forget, Bennett Boys Auction Service going to have the Sutton Estate Auction. It's going to be this Saturday at 11 o'clock over in Buell at 1634 East, 4300 North. From Buell Medical Center, you go east 1 mile, then north 2 miles, then east a quarter of a mile. Look for the signs and lunch by the cook shack. They're going to have cars and farm items and lawn and garden items, Skidoo snow machine, and they're going to have sporting items and clocks, all kinds of clocks and clock parts, furniture, miscellaneous items. This big sale, Sutton Estate Auction, this Saturday at 11 o'clock over in Buell, managed by the Bennett Boys Auction Service. No sale too big, no sale too small. The Bennett Boys, yep, they sell them all. Right now, let's go to the phone line. And with us from Barry Equipment and Rental, hello, Corey Chandler. How are you?
I'm doing great, Zeb. How are you?
Well, I just got a little vision in my head that you're sitting there at your desk with your feet propped up on the desk and having a cold lemonade. What's life like in the fast lane with Corey Chandler over at Barry Equipment and Rental?
Well, something like that. Well, I wish, but I seem to spend more time in the pickup than at my desk.
Well, speaking.
Yeah, it keeps me busy running around.
Well, speaking of running around, I mean, what's the big deal right now? I mean, you've got all the equipment from the Doosan loaders and excavators and all the Bobcats and everything. After we've had a really, really wet spring, what's happening out there?
So, I mean, we always have great deals going on with our Doosan loaders, up to $10,000 in rebate, 0% financing options. I mean, we're really trying to push these things. They're new to the area, and people aren't familiar with them, so we're bending over backwards to get some of these out in the marketplace. So, I mean, if you're interested in looking at a loader or excavator, give a Doosan a try. They really are well-built, great machines.
Well, let me ask you...
And I want to tell you, as far as the Bobcat side goes, this month, the mini excavator is the route to go with the rebate programs we've got. We've got competitive owner rebate programs, first-time buyer program where you can save $3,000 to $4,000 just in rebates, and then we also offer extra discounts on top of that, so we can get you an outstanding machine for a really good discount from now till the end of June. So mini excavators and Doosan loaders is where it's at right now.
You know, let me ask you this, Corey. Maybe there's people in the audience that don't know what they need. They don't know what to ask you about. How would you suggest you can help them? Should they have them call you and talk about the job they need to do, or what's the best way?
Well, absolutely. That's the route I take. You give me a call and say you have a certain job that you need done, and we'll talk about options. What I like to do is bring the equipment out to you. If you think you might need a skid steer, I'll bring the skid steer out you think you might need and let you try it out for a day or two. If you don't like it, I'll bring you a different one. We can go a different route. But before I sell anything, I have you demo it, try it out, either out at your place. We have a nice big pit out in Burley at our store there. I can come out anytime. You're welcome to play around in any of our equipment. See what you think out there. But yeah, use our stuff before you buy it. You'll find that you love it. You'll find the exact thing you need for the type of job that you're doing.
You know, and you mentioned what I was going to ask you about is a lot of people are a little shy about saying, well, I hate to say this, but I don't know how to run a Bobcat or an excavator or a skid steer. And that's nothing to be embarrassed about, and you'll teach them, right?
Oh, absolutely. I sell so many machines for first-time users, that they have jobs to do and they've never used them before, and so I'll take them out and show them the ropes, show them everything. I mean, this equipment is not hard to use, for one thing. I mean, you'll learn really quick. Within a few minutes, you'll have it figured out enough to be able to get your job done. So, and then the more you play around with it, you get really good at it. But yeah, we'll show you everything you need to know, and you'll figure the rest out through time.
Corey, what's a day in the life of Corey Chandler like with Berry Equipment and Rental? I mean, you get up in the morning and give us kind of a explanation of what you do every day serving the public.
Well, to be honest, so the first thing I do every day, I come in, and that's the little time I have at my desk. I get an hour or two at the desk putting quotes together for people. That's usually the first thing I do when somebody gives me a call or I go out to see them that are interested in a piece of equipment. I like to give them a price straight up, and so I'll work on getting all those quotes together first thing. Then I'll go out and see people. This afternoon, I'm taking a couple machines out for people to demo. As I said before, I always try to demo a machine before I sell anything, so you can make sure that you really like it, and that's the route you want to go. And then I'll spend a lot of my days delivering machines for people that have bought.
I see.
From me. So it changes a little bit from day to day, but I spend a lot of time in the pickup, as I said before, hauling the equipment around.
Well, Corey, let me ask you this. What's the best number if people are listening right now and they say, doggone it, I got to get a hold of that guy. What's the best number for them to call and ask questions?
call me personally on my cell phone. You can get a hold of me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 208-316-6763.
Okay. Now, tell us a little bit about the three locations, the one in Burley, Twin Falls, and Nampa. What are the hours, and where are they?
So hours are, let's see, in our Burley location, we're open till 5 p.m., open up at 8 a.m. in the morning, 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. We are closed on Saturday. And in our Twin Falls location, we're 8 in the morning till 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. And then we are open on Saturday in Twin Falls from 8:30 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon. And then in our Nampa location, we're also closed on Saturday, but we are open until 6 o'clock there every day.
All right. Well, I want to tell you what a treat it is to talk to you. You sound like you got a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement in helping people. Anything else you want to say on behalf of Barry Equipment and Rental?
Well, I'll just tell you, I love what I do, and there's a reason, because I get to deal with amazing people, and to be honest, I just truly believe in the equipment. I mean, it's top of the line. Everybody knows about Bobcat, but I'm telling you, Doosan's going to catch hold, and I think people are really going to like them as they try them out more and more.
Corey Chandler with Barry Equipment and Rental, with locations in Burley, Twin Falls, and Nampa. Corey, drive carefully. Sometime when you're going down Highway 30, stop in and say hello.
Hey, will do. Thank you very much. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today.
All right. Thank you, Corey. God bless you. One of our really long-time advertisers on this program, Barry Equipment and Rental Sales, Service, and Parts, and we do appreciate them. Thank you very much. Let's see. We're going to come back in just a few minutes with Mark Jensen, and we're going to be talking about the coal industry and the steel industry, and that's coming up in just about 3 minutes or so. But right now, we're going to send this over to our main studio. Wheels, take it away.
And now, back to Zeb at the Ranch on AM 1230 KBAR. To reach Zeb, call 436-2244 or toll free 1-866-927-4587. And now, here is Zeb Bell.
Thank you very much, and welcome back to our last half hour. We're on the home stretch right now of Zeb at the Ranch for this week. Don't forget, right now, we'd like to introduce the Chief Executive Officer and Chairman of the Board for American Resources Corporation, Mark Jensen. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Well, it's my treat to have you on the air, and give me a little background of what American Resources Corporation is and what it does.
Absolutely. American Resources Company is a newly public NASDAQ-listed company. We're a producer, one of the fastest-growing producers of metallurgical coal for the steel industry.
Now, the steel industry and the coal industry, quite frankly, very well linked together in this great United States of America. But, Mark, I want to get right to the crux of the problem. There are so many of the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortezes and other environmental movements with the Green New Deal that would like to see the coal industry completely stymied and stopped. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, one, I think it's ridiculous in the first instance, but most importantly, they're focused on trying to destroy something that they use every day and almost every hour of their day. It's just more rhetoric and talk versus functionality and reality.
I want you to explain that a little bit more, because I want the public to know firsthand from a person like yourself that's involved in that industry every day what it's been like to take all the backstabbing and the knifings from the Democrats and the environmentalists with your industry. I mean, what's it been like to fight back and try to keep your job?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one thing our industry hasn't done a great job of is explaining what we bring to the table. I mean, we have the people that are attacking us are the people that, Michael Bloomberg, for example, has made his wealth on building skyscrapers and owning buildings in New York City that are built out of our steel. There's nothing in this country that you can produce without it. I mean, from infrastructure, the things that keep us safe, the things that keep the community safe.
Now, what would What would happen, Mark, if all of a sudden your industry with the coal was gone and the processing of steel was gone? We'd have to rely on all imports of foreign countries. Am I wrong?
Absolutely. We would be. The dominance and the strength of America was built on the foundation of coal and what coal brings to the table. Anything from pipelines to bridges to water treatment facilities. I mean, the issue up in Flint, Michigan, to fix that problem, you need infrastructure. You need what coal creates.
What are your thoughts right now, and you'd like to tell my audience about the coal industry that maybe they've got some misthoughts or misgivings on? I'd like you to tell them exactly how beneficial and how needed the coal industry is.
Absolutely. I mean, if you think about it, what people care about is having safe, functional lifestyles. And if you take away coal, you take away water filters, you take away pipelines that transport water in clean, safe, reliable manner, the road systems, the bridges, the tunnels. There's so many ways that coal touches every single person every day, and they just don't realize it. I mean, that's something that our industry needs to do a much better job of communicating, is what we do to keep people safe and what our products do to keep people safe is such an important aspect of everyday life.
You know, Mark, when you look at the situation, and boy, you're going to find a friend in this program, because the idiocy of going green with the solar and, of course, the wind turbines, etc. What a lot of people don't realize, and if you think I'm wrong, correct me, please, is that to change over and transition to the Green New Deal, it's not only going to be cost ineffective, but they need your industry to produce the items that they want to put on the market.
That's exactly right. He was promoting rail lines. You don't build railroads and you don't build that stuff without steel. But also look at the economics. Last year, in 2018, 3% of the United States energy was produced using wind and solar. 3%. And they spent $52 billion to do that. $52 billion to create 3%.
Why, in your opinion, Mark, is there this movement, this running without a bridle and a bit in their mouth? Why is there this movement to say to the American public, we're going to go green, we're going to go all solar and all wind power in 15, 20 years, whatever the case might be, and then all of a sudden, if somebody had the guts to ask them questions, they go, oh, well, yeah, it's going to cost about $30 trillion. Certainly the American taxpayer is willing to dip into their billfold and pay for that. They never answer the questions as to how they're going to do this and how cost ineffective it really would be.
They are doing it purely to lie to the American people to win votes. They know that it can't be done. That's why they can't explain it. I mean, that's like I said, they spent $52 billion to produce 3% of the United States energy last year. It's purely a lie to get votes and try to win populist demand and sell books. I mean, these people are in it for the money.
When you say they know that they can't do it, then why in the world don't we have anybody in the news media that will go to some of these press conferences and everything, whether it's with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or wild-haired Bernie or bug-eyed Cory Booker or whatever, and lay their cards on the table? And when they make stupid, asinine statements like, we're all going to go green in 15 years or we're going to burn up if we don't do it, why aren't they asking questions and pin them down?
It's really easy to sell fear. And by selling fear, they're trying to scare the people and lie to the people to get them to move in the direction that they want so that they can sell books and get reelected and have that healthy salary that, unfortunately, our government pays them at the expense of the lies that they're telling. It's just the fear factor that they're selling with very little basis behind it.
Mark, in your opinion, if all of a sudden the coal industry and the steel industry in this country was stopped, I want you to kind of give us a sketch as to what you think would happen with China and other sources of power, not only taking over that market, but almost literally taking over us.
Well, and in reality, it can just never happen. I mean, you can't take away the need for infrastructure in our country, but if we try to import all that, I mean, we're losing our dominance. I mean, right now we are energy independent as a country, and that's a huge thing. If you start relying on foreign nations for that, when you lose your power, all of a sudden it gets really dangerous and really scary. I don't think we want to be controlled by China. I don't think we want to be controlled by any foreign nation. And that's exactly what would happen very quickly.
When you look at people that I would say are not real bright, like Bill de Blasio, the mayor of New York that's making a futile attempt to run for the presidency, and he's condemning all sources of power other than just natural, and he wants to ban inefficient steel and glass skyscrapers in New York and basically be the czar of power in that city. What are your thoughts? How would you address him if you had a personal confrontation with him?
I would ask some factual questions. I mean, how would New York City work without energy, without steel? How would it work without glass? How would it work without any of those components? And in reality, if they went and get de Blasio up there and do some real debates, and it's going to be very clear what he really knows about how the economy and how the world works. It's just he doesn't, and he's not going to. President Trump won the election by winning the Rust Belt. He won the Rust Belt because he explained to America that we care about Americans first, that we believe in American exceptionalism.
When you have the powers that be, like Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, and the edicts coming out of Sacramento saying, thou shalt not build a house until you put solar panels in the roof, and the big move for the Green New Deal, even on a subtle basis across this country, can we stop this evil cancer that started, or is it too late?
We can absolutely stop it. I have a friend that posted yesterday on the internet that in their offices at Stanford University, it was 92 degrees because they didn't want to use the electricity in anything but their medical facilities. 92 degrees in an office building. In California, in the United States, a first world country. That is asinine. I mean, that's ridiculous. To believe that we're going to start rationing power in one of the best countries and the most well-built-out countries in the world, that's insane.
But how do we combat, Mark, and I'm not trying to pin you down on this, but it's a question I've asked a lot of guests on my program. How do we combat the idiocy that's being taught in the school systems, whether it's kindergartners or high school or college or university students, that absolutely have been brought up in a society thinking that any time we use fossil fuels, it's wrong and it's harmful?
Well, most importantly, I mean, that's, as the CEO and chairman of American Resources today, one of the fastest growing companies on the NASDAQ, and based on a revenue basis, I'm here to do that. I'm here to help communicate the message that what the fossil fuels industry does for our country and start communicating how it keeps us safe and how it enables us to be reliable and provide for our children. And more importantly, when it starts hitting the pocketbooks, and it's doing that today by rationing power in California because we've cut out coal usage there, which really they imported anyways. But the sheer fact that it's when it starts hitting the pocketbooks, and when you do that, it affects the lower income first, which is really frustrating because those are the people that need more help, need more disposable income. But they're going to vote with their pocketbooks, and it's going to start happening.
You know, when you say vote, I've got to lead a next question into that. Every one of the Democrats, what are there now, 24, 96, or 117, whatever, it doesn't make any difference to me. Every one of them seem to espouse some segment or partiality to the Green New Deal. And how would you combat that? If Trump doesn't make it back for another term, I would simply say, God help us, we're in trouble.
I would ask, the very first question I would ask in the debates is, how could you go, if you can't go 1 hour a day without utilizing a product created from coal, how can you be attacking it? I would ask them to go 1 week, not even 1 week, 1 day in their life, and without using a product made from coal. That means your iPhone screens, the silica made from coal. I would ask them to go 1 day and attempt to do that. When they fail, they need to drop the rhetoric.
You know, on behalf of you and your knowledge and your business, tell my audience just really how big, how wonderfully blessed is this country with coal and its possible production. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. I mean, the United States coal industry, the quality of metallurgical coal we produce in this country is of the highest quality. It produces the safest steel in the world. And that safe steel helps produce sustainable bridges, sustainable roadways, sustainable tunnels, sustainable buildings. That's what keeps our children safe. When we go on the road with our children in the back seat, the car seats are made out of the steel that's produced here in America. And that steel is of the high. When you evaporate that, all of a sudden you're importing that low quality brittle steel from China, and things start failing, accidents start happening, and people start getting hurt. We need to look at the safety of our families and the safety of our children when we start voting.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to have the Chief Executive Officer and Chairman of the Board for American Resources Corporation, Mark Jensen, on the program. And the only thing I'm going to ask him if he'll promise to come back soon. Mark, thank you very much.
Thank you. I really appreciate your time and look forward to coming back.
All right, sir. God bless. Thank you. You know, he laid it out, and he's 100% right on what he said about our coal and steel industry. Ours, not coming in from a foreign country. Ours for quality. Ours for what we need, and not to be self-reliant on other countries like China, etc. And we've got to stop this movement, this idiotic movement of the Green New Deal that absolutely would devastate the coal and the steel industry here in this great United States of America. They, the lefties, have got to be stopped. Right now, we're going to take a little break for our weather, and Wheels is probably very surprised that I'm fairly close to being on time, as a matter of fact, today. And we're going to have our weather brought to you right now by Scarrows Meats, 331 North Road, Jerome. Oh, my goodness sakes, all the delicious meats from Scarrows Meats. Go to their website, scarrowsmeats.com. All the marinated pork ribs and the tri-tips and all the meat for grilling outside on the barbecue and the breakfast sausages and bacons, and the list goes on and on. You're going to love it. The great, great meats from Scarrows Meats over in Jerome. Right now, here's Scott Mann with the weather.
Small chance of showers this afternoon and tonight, then sunshine. Good morning with your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron. For this morning, mostly sunny, some isolated showers possible for this afternoon, highs around 82. That chance of showers continuing on into tonight with a low of 53. Then for tomorrow, mostly sunny, highs around 82. For Friday night, mostly clear, a low of 51. Saturday, sunshine and 83. Mostly clear for Saturday night and a low of 51. Then for Sunday, mostly sunny and a high of 84. That's your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron. Have a great day.
Oh, thank you. Scott Mann doing a good job filling in for Gina while she's on vacation this week. And brought to you by Scarrows Meats. Don Scarrow and the rest of his great, great staff at 331 North Road, Jerome. Number to call, 324-7657. They are changing the way we eat, one delicious bite at a time. I've got time for some calls, and I'd welcome your calls about any topic you want to talk about for the remainder of this program this morning. You are welcome to give me a jingle at 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Please, love to hear from you. This weekend, Father's Day. My father passed away about 5 years ago, and I absolutely urge you to kind of take a look at Dad and say, thank you, Dad. Thank you for all you've done. Thank you for all your work. Thank you for all your effort. Thank you for the home that we were raised in. Thank you for the family. Thank you for the food on the table, and thank you for all the times when we bunged up our knees or whatever, you made sure that we were taken care of. Thanks for being at the sporting events. Thank you, Dad. This is Father's Day weekend, and I urge you to thank your dad. Okay? Give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. You know, I want to go back to a little bit of the story that we were talking to Rita about earlier, but I'm going to take this call first and foremost. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning. You know, we take a lot for granted about our parents, but my mother passed away when I was 4, and then my dad remarried when I was 10, and he passed away at 59. He drowned while he was goose hunting. And so I still miss him, and I wished he was here so I could wish him a happy Father's Day.
You know, one thing you just said that really makes me get a little emotional is because both of my parents are gone, my mother and my father, and when we have that Mother's Day and or Father's Day come up, it does kind of open up your mind for memories of the past and wishes of maybe, oh, I wished I'd have done this better, or maybe I should have said that differently. But for those that still have their moms and their dads, remember the day and treat them with the respect that's necessary.
And we don't realize these things until they're gone.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Too late. My dad was a wonderful man, very, very honest. I feel like he taught me a lot, and I have some big footsteps to follow in. But that's what dads are for.
Amen. Keith, I'm so glad you brought that up. I appreciate that. Father's Day, just a little extra right there. And if anybody else has got some thoughts about Father's Day this weekend, give us a call, 436-2244. Thanks, Keith. God bless you. Yep, Father's Day, and I, as a father and also a grandfather, boy, am I blessed. I'm real happy about how my children have done. Jake, of course, with the Boise Fire Department, and Toby being married to a very, very well-educated, smart farmer in this area, and their kids. I've got five grand boys that absolutely are outstanding. I've been blessed, and so this day, Father's Day, this Sunday, it means a lot to me. Calls are welcome. Give me a jingle, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I want to say this one more time before I leave. We were talking about the horrendous, absolutely devastating accident that took the life of Marianne Steiner, and her husband, Dwayne Steiner, is in very critical condition at St. Alphonsus Hospital up in Boise. I knew Dwayne very well. He's the owner of Downtown Leatherworks in Twin Falls on Main Avenue East, and just one of the real nice people. Well, I talked to his brother the other day, and it's not looking real good for Dwayne. If he comes out of this coma and the stigmas and all the problems that have been caused by that coma, it's going to be a long time in recovery. And then he lost his wife in that accident, and I just want you to sit down, if you have a couple of bucks or something, and go to the GoFundMe page, GoFundMe.com/Dwayne and Mary Ann Steiner. I'll say it again, GoFundMe.com/Dwayne and Mary Ann Steiner. And if you have any problems, give me a call on my cell phone at 312-2976, and I'll do as much as I can to help you, okay? Good people in this accident absolutely did not have to happen. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. While I'm waiting for your call that I know is coming in, I want to also remind you about our great friends and your great friends at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Oh boy, they've got 7 big locations serving you with the best in tires, all the different tread designs, all the different sizes, and believe me, for all the different types of driving. They've got many of the tires on sale, like the Ultra Z900 for your passenger cars. What a great tire. Or for your pickups and SUVs, the Open Country MT. My goodness, you better get in there today. And don't forget to, at all 7 locations, the best in brake service, front end alignment, shocks and struts and batteries. But above all, the best in service to you. Stop in and see Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and Trent on Overland in Burley. The best, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. There was a story I was reading briefly this morning, and it just absolutely is scaring me to death, and it should scare you too, that it's not just, let's say, people from Nicaragua, Costa Rica, etc., that are coming up across our border. Many are coming in from Africa. And Border Patrol agents have reported arresting more than 500 people from Africa since May 30th, just a mere few weeks ago. And they are coming in from Angola, Cameroon, the Republic of the Congo, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And there's one real scary word that we all need to be aware of and cognizant when we hear that group of people coming in from Africa: Ebola. Many of the people coming in have been near and or possibly exposed to that Ebola virus, and they are coming up through our southern border. And you have to be very concerned, worried, or even, yes, scared about the lack of knowledge of the diseases and what they can possibly bring into this United States of America. Ebola is a word that absolutely makes people's eyebrows raise and fear come into their eyes. And yet the Democrats in our Congress are doing nothing to protect you and I. It's shameful. It's disgusting. And now another big fear with over 500 people from Africa already being arrested, and those are the ones that they caught. And we, the United States of America citizens, have no protection about what might be being brought to this country that could kill us. I point my finger at the Congress, and I damn them for a job that they were elected to do, hired to do, paid to do, and they are doing nothing. They are disgusting. Next week on the program on Monday, we've got some really interesting folks coming on, including from Hollywood, Attorney James Herson, and we've got Vicky's Country Gardens. We've got more on the Idaho Regatta. We're going to have a really good conversation with Richard Manning. Always, I look forward to having Rick on our program. I want to extend to you and yours to have a really, really good weekend outside. It sounds like the weather is going to be really good, probably in the mid-80s. Enjoy that picnic. Enjoy being with the family. And especially on Sunday, enjoy Father's Day. Okay? We'll be back here next Monday at 8:06, Zeb at the Ranch, and we'll spend 3 hours going through some of the top stories in the news. And I really appreciate your phone calls. I got the greatest audience in the world. Thank you very much. We always wrap up the program by saying the way things were are the way things ought to be. And the world needs more cowboys. Don't forget, Zeb at the Ranch next Monday. We'll see you right here on K-Bar 1230 and streaming live all over the world on ZebBell.com. Wheels, take it away.